And welcome back to another video. It is early morning. We are harvesting lettuce. So these Kratky Method buckets, which is just hydroponic solution in a bucket with a mesh pot on top and just little ceramic media balls to hold the plant in place, have worked really well. So this is what, 4 weeks in, I think, 3.5, 4 weeks in, and our lettuce is ready to harvest. That is a lot of bloody lettuce. Yeah, that's probably too much lettuce, but hey, only thing better than lettuce is obviously beer and pizza, and we haven't grown beer or pizza yet. We will eventually, I'm sure. But look at the size of some of these leaves, yeah, and that is not touching them, not really doing anything. Look at the roots, just hydroponic solution in a bucket. 4 weeks later, harvest. Nothing ate them this time, so that is kind of great. We've already harvested that one, yeah, and that is it. Actually, I can show you with this one what it looks like. Oh, there's the dead roots there, but it's just a little mesh pot like that, media to hold the plant, and hydroponic solution in a bucket. That's it. Very easy. Yeah. Anyway, while we're here, let's check out some of the other stuff. Now the tomatoes. Yeah, obviously there was, I don't think it's frost damage, I think it's some other weird disease on the bottom of these leaves, but we have tomatoes, and that one has been pushed over in the wind again. These two are going well. I have tomatoes developing. Let's jump to that system over there. And while we're at the tomatoes, we should show you some random tomatoes way down the back. And if you remember from some of my older videos, yeah, this is the messy backyard. One day this will be a giant fruit farm. Okay, in our pile of gunk, we have these tomato plants. Yes, they are tomato plants. There is an actual tomato growing. Look, there's even twigs. Look at that. Okay, we have a tomato. We have multiple tomatoes. I'm going to get rid of that little one because, yeah, that's not going to develop with the others. Absolutely nothing has been done to them. They've been dumped in this pile because they had mites. Then the temperature got cold, no mites, but we have tomatoes. So if you want tomatoes, just dump them in your dumping pile and they will apparently grow, apart from bugs eating them and stuff like that. Otherwise, this is the backyard. Yeah, I have a lot of plans to do this, but working 24 hours a day is not working for me at the moment. Well, it is working for me. Ironically, I'm working for me, but not getting enough time to do this. And I kind of want to get this done. I think ideally I want to do a concrete area there and then have some sort of cover over there and just have all my buckets along there, which will get a lot of sun. And yeah, some sort of greenhousey thing in the middle. I want to trim down this giant ayahuasca vine, which is just insane. A taro. Yeah, and then there's a giant pile of mess which goes about 20-30 foot there, which all needs to be pulled down. Some of these palms need taking down. And then I've got lots of room to grow fruit trees. Yeah, and this is just a big mess as well. But that is the plan. One day, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I probably don't need acreage, seeing I've got all this land here, but acreage sounds better. Everything sounds better. Here's all my giant black tubs, which I need to sort out. Yeah, whole lot of pots, whole lot of stuff just waiting, a giant pile. This wants to be a garden bed as well. Whether or not it's going to be a garden bed is another matter. But anyway, that is where we are. Let's jump to more stuff. So the Beto bucket tomatoes are going well, a lot better than the last 3 tries, and yeah, they are using a lot more room. So if you didn't see any of my other videos, I had the roof at this level and they would all hit it and bend around. Obviously I've raised the roof, yeah, and now we're almost touching the new roof. I don't think they will because they are all starting to flower at the tops. And yeah, once they flower at the tops, all the energy is going to obviously go into growing tomatoes as opposed to actually getting any bigger. So yeah, decent sized tomatoes. There's a mixture of pot prize and Roma tomatoes in this system. There is one there that started developing early. I've trimmed a lot of the leaves down below, so we're not going to get any mold or any mildew build up and, you know, a noticeable area for bugs to mass produce and wipe out everything. But that is where we are. So if you haven't seen this, these are just Beto buckets. I know I say it in just about every video, but if you've never seen any of my other videos nor want to, these are just Beto buckets you can buy, or Dutch buckets. You can buy on eBay. I think they're like $10, $15 a bucket on average, depending on what country you live in. And yeah, they've got a hole in the bottom and holds liquid up to that level, then it overflows. So you can use PVC pipe like I have, and the PVC pipe just goes to a tub, and then that black line there is just pumping water back, well, hydroponic solution, into the buckets. And that is just a normal media, so that is perlite. You can use whatever you want, rocks, gravel, you name it. There's a little bit of mesh over the overflow hole so it doesn't get clogged with all that stuff. And yeah, that is it. The water just pumps in, goes through the media, through the roots, fills up the bottom, overflows, goes into the little pipe, and then goes back into your tub, which is hydroponic solution, just in there, a little tiny pump. And it's only, I think, a 600 litre an hour pump. Pumps have got to do with how high you need to pump the water, and this is only being pumped up about 50 centimetres, so which is about 2 foot nearly from there to there. That is it. You can have the pump on a timer, so you can have it going for an hour, off for an hour, on for 15 minutes, off for 15 minutes. Have it on the whole day, off at night, doesn't really overly matter, but that is just the nutrients going in and feeding the plants. But that is where we are with the Beto buckets, working really well. Now the reason I've got this is to stop all the water from diluting my hydroponic solution, which is in the tub, because we get a lot of rain in these, obviously it dilutes the hydroponic solution. Obviously you can check that and so on and so on, but enough light here for them to grow. They're not all bending towards the light. Going pretty well. So yeah, I think what I'll do for the next lot, look at all the flowers there too, potential tomatoes. I think for the next lot what I'm going to do is a bigger scale of that. Yeah, because at least tomatoes you can make stuff out of compared to lettuce where you have to eat the lettuce straight away. I know. Well, if you've got any suggestions on lettuce, that ways of keeping lettuce, that would be wonderful, because I haven't even Googled that. It was just, oh, let's grow lettuce, and we've grown lettuce. But yeah, surprisingly works really, really fast. But that is our tomatoes. If we come around here, we have our aquaponics. I know, I need to upgrade the aquaponics. This is aquaponics with freshwater South American stingrays. There they all are, lurking around. Big stingrays. Now, I am only growing mint. Yes, mint, because I'm the only one in the world that can't grow mint. So this way, it is growing really, really well. So I ended up buying 4 little mint plants, and I've just used cuttings, and now I have a lot more than 4 mint plants. I know, and everyone's like, you idiot, mint is so easy to grow. Well, if you don't water it, it doesn't grow. So at least in these systems, and look at the roots there, yeah, they grow really, really well. And mint is perfect for gin. So we just need to grow some juniper berries, and then we can have some gin with our mint. Another awesome plant I got, look at that. That's like purple. So that is opal basil, or black basil, even though it's purple. Smells like basil, tastes like basil. It's purple. Very, very cool. So I've just done 2 little cuttings in that system there. And all this system is water. We got 18.3 degrees at the moment. I've got this tub currently turned off, all these, because these are at 24 degrees for my tropical fish. This is just circulating in here, but there's enough nutrients in that 1,000 litres. Yeah, and I'll do little water changes with pumping water back into there, then water into there, because I don't want to heat this whole 1,000 litres up with all the rest of this, because there's big fish tanks. Yeah, 2,500 litres there, 2,500 litres there, 1,100 litres there, 900 litres there. Yeah, it adds up a lot in power. And I think there's my controllers there. I have 2 controllers. One's controlling 1,800 watts of heat, and the other one's controlling 2,400 watts of heat, which is kind of insane. We're sort of in the subtropics, and if you look out there at the moment, it's very hazy with, yeah, just a fine mist. Fine, coolish mist, but water temperature being 18.3 degrees is not bad. Almost tropical, but not quite. But that is where we are with our mints. Going pretty well. What I might do is ended about here, and in the next couple of days I've actually got more tomatoes just growing normally in tub things, buckets, what are they called? Not tubs, not buckets, pots, that's what they're in. And they're taking off pretty well as well. The only problem with them in pots like that is forgetting to water the bloody things. And yeah, that is the downfall of things that are not hydroponics or aquaponics, is you have to water them. I know. Anyway, apart from this system, we've got a high-powered LED. This is just an aquarium LED, so any aquarium lighting that grows plants, technically it's going to grow terrestrial plants, so you don't need big fancy lights or anything like that. Without a light though, they are going to stretch for the sun, so you need a lot of light. And you can see with these ones, if we go under here, they're stretching towards the light already. You could probably do it with 2 lights, but I'm not going to give them 2 lights. 1 is enough. It's mint. It'll be fine. It'll probably, yeah, it won't grow as well without the light, but it's still going to grow. Anyway, that is where we are. If you did enjoy this short video on an update on hydroponics, aquaponics, got any comments, questions, comment down below. Otherwise, we will see you in the next one. And yeah, if you want to watch more stuff, there's more stuff on the screen. We'll see you then.